who fly their own religious flag of science, and who have come to view scripture as nothing more than an old means of control, as an archaic and outmoded view of the world, and as anti-science, should really be redirected to Psalm 139. Psalm 139 is a truly remarkable passage and a testament to the advanced understanding our historical ancestors possessed in regard to genetics, and despite the official narrative. For I am fearfully and wonderfully made. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there were none of them. Psalm 139 displays David's marvel at God's power to create human life. Just as Corinthians states that being sown in a natural body and raised in a celestial body is written, David here acknowledges that before he was sown or born, all his members were written in God's book. This book is DNA, the code that makes life possible in the first place. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is the blueprint of human life, and contemporary scientists acknowledge that DNA is a type of book. DNA consists of the nitrogen bases adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. These bases are usually abbreviated as A, G, C, and T respectively. Just as in a book, these letters are grouped in a specific order to communicate a particular idea or task. Recently, contemporary literary studies have fallen under the spell of reading all texts through the prism of social and identity politics. The account of creation of both Adam and Eve has become problematic for youthful, aspiring feminists in the dusty classrooms of university seminars. Of course, they lament, Eve was created from Adam's rib in the patriarchal, misogynistic past of scripture. But if we toss identity politics aside, we can see the creation for what it is. Eve was created out of Adam's already established genetic code, his rib. It's in the word, deoxyribonucleic acid. Furthermore, it's the ribosomes in our cells that take instructions from the messenger RNA in the body to create the proteins essential for life. Enoch did not die a natural death, but was raptured during his life. He was taken from his natural body and given a celestial body by God and seen no more. As Hebrews 11:5 states, by faith Enoch was translated, not to see death, and was not found, because God did translate him. For before his translation, he had been testified to that he had pleased God well. That word, translation, just like Adam's rib, it is a direct reference to the workings of human genetics. In molecular genetics, translation is the process in which the ribosomes, the molecular machines present within our cells, synthesize proteins after the process of transcription of DNA to RNA in the cell's nucleus. In translation, messenger RNA, or mRNA, is decoded in the ribosome to produce a specific amino acid chain, which later generates into an active protein and performs its functions in the cell. It's all very complicated, but take a moment to look at your body. Your hands, the skin, the muscle, the hair, every single part of yourself. Each part of your cells that make up the whole contain millions of proteins. Proteins are molecular building blocks for every organism on Earth. But how are they made in the first place? The instructions for making proteins are written in the cell's DNA. In each cell's book of life exists a code, or sequence, and this is what we call our genes. The first step of generating these proteins from the gene sequence, or book, is called transcription. Here, the DNA sequence of the gene is rewritten in the form of two types of RNA, One of these types of RNA is classified as coding RNA, or mRNA, messenger RNA. The second step is called translation. In this stage, the mRNA is decoded in the ribosome to produce a specific protein. The ribosome is a type of micro-machine present within all of our cells. Its purpose is to read the instructions presented by the mRNA. The whole process is called gene expression, and without mRNA, the ribosome cannot read the genetic sequence of the gene, and therefore cannot produce the proteins that make up our biological structure. With this in mind, we can return to the scriptural context of Enoch's translation and David's marvel